We pray for the governments, for the District Council of Mount Michael and the service of our community. Members will stand in silence in the memory of those residents who have passed away since the last meeting, and those who have made the supreme sacrifice in the service of the country. Those who have passed recently: Leon Butterick, formerly of Melrose, Faye Cooper, formerly of Port Germain, and Jean Bolt, formerly of Melrose. And those who have made the supreme sacrifice in the service of the country at sea, on land, in the air. This week again. And declare the meeting open at 6:02 p.m. At 1, administrative matters, 1.1, apologies, community and corporate. 1.2, leave of absence. Now, 1.3, conflict of interest. The members need to declare conflict of interest for the agenda this evening. Being nil. 1.4, confidential provisions. Any of the members seek to discuss any of the agenda item under confidential provisions? Nil. 1.5, previous minutes. Previous meeting. 1.1, ordinary meeting of council 15 April 2025. The minutes of the ordinary meeting held on that date will be taken as read and confirmed. We'll have to move. Second for that floor, council. Wish to speak to that? No. Further questions in favour? All those in favour? Carried. 1.6, action list. Council receives and writes the report. Read before 1.6. Yes, no. Thank you. Second, please. Thank you. Wish to speak to that? No. Any questions or debate on that topic? No. All those in favour? Carried. 1.7, deferred or adjourned items for the renewal. 2, presentations, petitions and deputations. There are nil. Reports of committees at 3.1, Airstrip Committee. 3.11 minutes of the previous meeting, the council receives and adopt or otherwise the reports and recommendations of the Airstrip Committee being held 8 May 2025. We had a meeting. Councillor Councillor Muffle, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Nick. And if you have a look at the report of the issue again, it was another excellent recent years. We've been getting very good reports on the maintenance and serviceability of staff and the way that it's been.
Thank you. That pass on. There's no further questions on the way. Do you want to speak to that? Just getting in. Okay. Thank you. No further questions on the way. All those in favour? Carried. .1 budget update as at 30 April. Council receives and makes a report by me. Thank you. Second, please. Councillor Motley, thank you.
Just very briefly, we get to this time of the year and the budget is fast becoming less relevant and the real far more relevant. Close to the end of the year. And we were able to have a real good update on the budget and budget review through this meeting today. As well, and that information will flow through to council meeting very shortly. One thing I want to highlight though is I noticed that the assessment of whether our council's financially sustainable is not this month, like it normally is. And I'm not suggesting that that means everything's okay, we're sustainable, but I just have a request for next time, it's not a big deal. I think that is actually a very, very good reminder every single month. And so just a request that that returns. Hopefully that over months and years it moves from unsustainable to sustainable. I'm a believer in that important reminder.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions from the debate? All those in favour? Carried. 4.2, Acting Chief Executive offer miscellaneous updates. Council received the monthly. Councillor Dan, thank you. Second, Councillor Shields.
Thanks, Mayor. I think this is actually an excellent report. We get the regular reports from two directors and the regular report from the CEO. And I'm very grateful for this miscellaneous report. I think it's great that the CEO, anytime he wants to, can just slip a report into it. That is not necessary, but it's still very, very useful. And when I look at the things that are in it, like bringing some services back in house and saving money, and rural offers to improve the service, and things like the asset management / rationalisation, maintaining a focus on service delivery. Things that are in that report, which the CEO reports on, but of course, not only the CEO is responsible for, I think are very good. So I encourage those miscellaneous reports whenever appropriate, and I highlight the information that's in that report for us just to read. Actually, reflects well on what's going on behind the scenes.
Thank you. There's any further questions or debate on 4.2? Vote, all those in favour? Carried. 4.3, Built and Natural Environment Monthly Report 2025. Council received the monthly report. Second to Councillor Thompson.
Just to say, just a question to David is, I noticed in the CSR report, and I know that they've really been picked up and actually really well, but there's still a number that is outstanding from last year, early last year, mid to early last year, and I just wondered how we are tracking to resolving those.
Councillor, thank you. We are aware that there are some historical ones that are still picking up. That now is, as they become right, we're addressing some of those are quite large. In body, and some context to that. We've also cut the staff recently, and that's one of the board's really scared. So we're going to treat that on. They're in my radar, and they will be addressed.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for that. Any further questions or debate on that report? Being none, I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? Carried. Okay, 4.4, Acting Chief Executive Officer Performance Review. I seek a move of that. I'm prepared to stand this for a couple of moments, just a very brief update on some of this before we actually go into that motion. I would have something at the end of that I suggest as we conclude this. We've done our very best to work out the most effective way to manage the performance report, which is outlined in the body of the report in there at this point in time. And I think once we get through what's 1, 2, and 3, I would then seek to, unless there's any other information from the report, seek to add an amendment to those options. I'm just forecasting that.
So do you want to move it to suspend the orders?
Yeah. Just the standing orders. Right, second to that. Okay, thank you. All those in favour? For 5 minutes, it does not need to be a long presentation. The reason why I would do that is the body is clear. The objective isn't how we're going to propose to about that. But what we actually don't have in this presentation is the ability for myself to move forward and acting on this as we engage somebody to be a person. So at that point, I think we have some options. One of those being Billy and Jones. One, they do provide legal advice to us. We have Heather Oliver, who is a recruitment person and business for our organisation. And we also have another person or organisation out there called Henders Consulting. We've done work for discounts in the past, etc. So I'm proposing that in this conversation we arrive at the ability for myself to be able to seek expressions of interest from those three organisations as to their interest in providing those services and costs, etc. And then from that point, we would determine which of those we engage and get this activity moving. So that was the purpose of that. Unless anybody else has got anything else further to add, that or I'll go back into business.
So will you bring the recommendations back to council for us to decide, or you just?
No, that's the purpose of this conversation right now. So that would take us another month. So I'm interested in how we might go about that in this conversation right now. So it's a big action that otherwise we will June. I think my suggestion is that we seek that expression of interest from those three parties. Based on the cost, we will put the terms of reference to do according to that. They provide us with a quote for that. And the most effective quote, not necessarily the cheapest, but I would expect it to be the most cost paramount in our decision.
Now, I'm comfortable with that because just thinking I would do it. To be really blunt, we have a CEO, expect to finish at the end of this calendar year. Doing his performance review is important, has to happen, but it has to be done properly. I just think we should just get on and do it. I'm comfortable with choosing who to participate. And you know, again, to be really blunt, if our acting CEO happened to want to continue on, he would have been applied for the role, same as everybody else would have been applied for the role. So, not devaluing this performance appraisal in any way whatsoever, but it doesn't create any security for the acting CEO beyond the end of this year anyway. So I think just getting properly, choose your partner properly, do the assessment properly, just get on with it.
Let's go.
I'm quite happy with the motions here that the mayor lead the process. Back to that, I'm also pleased that it include all the election members to review, which I think is very fair. And I've spoken to you about having an independent person. I have my preference that if you want to go out to get 3 quotes, probably don't object to that. I'd be quite happy to put Heather Oliver's name forward.
Well, so,
Having worked with her on previous recruitment.
Can I just add, I don't disagree with that at all. But when you seek one person, it's not a very competitive process. We do need to put it out to a few people. Just for all the right reasons.
And additionally, they might not be able to undertake work.
I think she's terrific also, but
So at that point, reach the conclusion that we need to believe at a point of that, approve the mayor to undertake that expressions of interest and make a decision accordingly.
So if we go back in,
Yep, so everybody's clear? Okay, right, thank you. I'd like to move back into normal business, please. Remove that, we're good. And a second for that. Danny. Okay, what's in favour? The conversation in mind, we have three parts to that recommendation. We have a mover for. Do you want me to propose?
I suggest
I'm happy to remove 1, 2, and 3 and include proves in there. What is the word proves? There. Engage in expression of interest versus insufficient terms and consult. Removing 3 and adding 4. Second to it. Any further questions or debate on that? Thank you. Vote on those in favour. Carried. Thank you. Good work, folks.
Sorry.
That's a fair question. My colleague.
The council still has a decision overarching to even enforce or not, so I don't see any reason why they can't move a motion.
Oh, that's all right. I just didn't know protocol because he's.
No, it's a fair question.
Yeah.
Very fair question. But we're all. Okay. Excuse me. 4.5, Local Government Association South Australia. I did provide the summary of this very extensive process for the AGM, Local Government Association, which I find very limited, of course. It's fairly heavy reading some of those reports. I thought I was there for people, once we actually had a look at the recommendation here, if anybody's got any particular points, and I'll make on any of those recommendations, so if you go down there and I'll vote on those. If you have a particular position, I'll go in the room and seek that position from there, and then we'll take those points and notes. So do I? So we can do that. Once again, I'll move to suspend standing orders for 5 minutes. I'll move for that, Councillor Lynn. Got a second for that, please, Councillor Schultz, thank you. All in favour? Okay, so I'll go around the room, we have those recommendations in favour of that LJ meeting. If you've got any position on any of those topics, the case and the position, and I will take that conversation with the rest of the group. All good? I get questions about checking the
yes, they're fine, look at this afternoon, after our meeting, but the point I made is that the very first one is an either or option. I'm in favour of option A. That is for South Australia.
Something that it's not actually there, and I don't know if it can be brought up, but the situation we have where the government says you can't build on 5 acre block of land around the building, for example, because it's rural land, even though it's pretty low value, whereas down in the city where it's really good land and grows anything, they just go, yeah, no problem, problems, couple of all houses.
I don't know that that topic's available for us to put on the table at that time. It's what's in front of me that we have to vote on. But we'll raise that tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. The staying on track, you've got nothing further to add? No. Okay. Councillor Michael?
No.
Come on.
Yeah, just the proposal, second to last one on jetty funding. We're a good advocate for us on jetty funding, and I think it's very important that last bit about being fair and consistent funding for jetties. And I'd encourage you to speak on it if the opportunity arises. I don't know we have a place here, but if any city people bring up climate change, just check if the push bikes are in the car park.
And the rubber tyres are left home as well. Anyway, so thank you. Councillor Pickles?
I just indicate.
Okay. On that one, so I'll move back into normal business. Like I mentioned, that place. That's the down.
Can I just be clear on what's recommended, which is referred to as option one. You vote as you choose based on feedback.
Sure.
I'm not giving you the
You go back into business first.
Oh, sorry.
Councillor Dan, second vote, Councillor Schultz, thank you. All those in favour? Carried, thank you. Now we'll move into the motion. This is on to three. Thank you for that. Councillor Dan, thank you. We got a second vote, Councillor Schultz, thank you. Questions in favour? Vote, all those in favour? Carried, thank you. Thank you. Okay, 4.6, rules, leases and fees. This topic is more about maintenance and responsibilities. That's the one. 4.6.
Thanks, Mayor. Everybody other than our gallery has so I will read it, there's nothing to discuss it. And please listen with some clarification on something. So I move the council receives the notice report and approves the schedule of responsibilities as per the workshop held on April 15th. And what that is exchanging the word fees, instead of removing fees, inserting responsibilities. 3, table attached to this report titled Annex should be maintenance schedules halls be adjusted as per the should be attached. This is incorporated as highlighted, which Melissa has as well. And I might just get through those for the gallery. So that's the amended motion. And the amended motion includes the table. For some last minute work. This has been something we've been dwelling on for a long time, and we we don't kid ourselves that we've got every single component of this just right. We go back a ways, a couple of years, there was an effort to get one version of leases and responsibilities for all types of assets across the entire council, and get it as right as we possibly could, and we all realised that was a step too far. So we are concentrating on halls only at this stage, and after halls, we will move on to another category of asset and then another category of asset, trying to do it in blocks, because what you might arrange for hall may not be exactly right for a golf club, or for a district club, another one of the types of organisations and properties that we've got out there. We can change things later. We've got as good as we can at the moment. Acknowledging it's not perfect. Roger could see a fault in it, but I might have a different view on it. Shirley could see a fault, but I might have a different view. Collectively, we've got as far as we can without really trying to drag our feet any longer on this. I'd like to just acknowledge Councillor Tate for her contribution to their exchanging fees and responsibilities, because we were originally asked to agree to some fees. We've never seen any fees, so we can't agree to share them. She's actually responsible for that change. Structure of these leases, at least the halls at the moment, is that there's no rent. It's actually a rent component. It's just dividing the responsibilities. Council will take care of some things. Leslie's will take care of some things. What those things will cost will be different by town, by facility, etc. What it might cost to repair something at one hall in one town will be different to what it costs to repair the same thing in another hall in another town. So we are just trying to work on those responsibilities at the moment. I think the Wilmington and the Melrose used for their feedback. They were the two that I went to, the Wilmington Hall Committee, which is a subset of Wilmington Progress Society, and the Wilmington Community Development Association, who provided feedback as well. I was not able to respond to the last thing I would have late this afternoon, so June, if you pass my apologies on to read that would be good. And I will just step through the changes in the context that we have meeting on the 15th of April. The thing is, we're not entitled to agree with those types of meetings, but we did come to sort of mutual understanding of where we thought we were going to head to. And we found that I think that our mutual understanding was completely reflected in what was put to us in the agenda, and that's why some of the things are being changed. They're not moving away from our mutual understanding, but they are moving away from what non-councillors would have read in the agenda. So just step through those things. Windows will be a full council responsibility. The logic there is it's part of the ruling. It's probably insured or council. Most of our hall windows are actually quite high, significant things. Damage up there is not likely to be always rented out. Somebody for a 21st birthday party and the whole committee let them get out of control. It's more likely to be to do with the building or maybe the or something like that. Painting, this is external painting, will be full responsibility of the council. And then this will be in the minutes, maybe you would like to just save you a bit of time if that's helpful. Gas bottles, now this is actually one that's gone back the other way. We discussed gas bottle and gas bottle cages being responsibility of the list to be looking after that. So that is a change. That's a responsibility. The snake pest removal annual inspections maintenance. And Dean gave us some good advice in our meeting on the 15th of April. He said, look, traditionally, white ants, which would be captured as a part of pest, white ants would be a landlord responsibility. Now, I know myself as a landlord, we actually want to do inspections, so we want to know that it's happened. If you do an inspection every single year, it comes up okay, every single year, so it's sort of a fortune down the track. So that will be, so these snake pest removal annual inspections, excluding white ants, will be a lessee responsibility. But white ant inspections and repairs will be by council responsibility. So if a snake sneaks into the supper room, the whole committee is going to have to deal with that. But when it comes to white ants, we'll do that. Painting, this is now into the internal section. Painting, painting of the main hall on the inside, if it's agreed, will be the council's responsibility. Painting of the supplementary rooms, although we've got toilets, we've got entrance rooms off to the sides of the water halls, we've got supper rooms, that will be my negotiation. Just to see exactly how, but the main hall, which is the tough big job, that will be a council responsibility. Fixed and loose furniture. Fixed furniture will be negotiable. Loose furniture will be the responsibility of the lessor, so tables and chairs and all those things inside. Traditionally, those groups home, they would be responsible for those. But anything that's fixed, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about those things. And these things, as writing, it's internal and external the same. So, yeah, thanks for giving me a bit of extra time on that. I would like to thank all of the staff who've worked on this for a very long time. And I would like to thank the councillors who've approached this in a very open, wanting to get the right thing, trying to find a balance between doing the right thing as a council representative of council itself and ratepayers' money, and simultaneously a council representative of the halls of committees and communities that actually use the buildings on behalf of the community as well. It's hard to get it just right among 7 councillors to get that applies to all of the halls, all the circumstances, rainbow tanks. Who put it was there and actually so it's a bit difficult. I don't know exactly right. But I ask councillors just to get this
So much. I have a second for amendment motion. Can you hand it up for that? So, you've got that amendment, yeah? Do you have any questions for the debate on the council? Further questions for the debate?
Just, I want to raise, because I don't want to, I think what Dan's done is great. But the only thing that I want to highlight is what, Dean raised. There seems to be, the clarity around, fire safety, and in regard to the smoke detectors, I believe that it should be the responsibility of the lessee to do the fire extinguishers and fire blankets and you know, that sort of review, but, maybe I think we need to perhaps look at the smoke detectors, and also what I had raised with this from the Port Main Hall are the exit signs. How are the exit signs? That's like a fire safety thing. They've got one of them's faulty, they've been told they have to fix it. I think that's a infrastructure thing that should be a whole a council responsibility. And the only other thing is we've got the solar panels under full responsibility of council. I think the solar panels should be dependent on whether they're, and I thought we discussed this before, whether they're council solar panels or the lessee solar panels. So, can I gladly.
Just with fire safety stuff, so if there's a fire in the kitchen and somebody uses a fire blanket,
Yeah.
it's not to be folded up and put back, it's to be destroyed or thrown away. And the thing is, the people leasing the hall are going to know that's happened. Where unless somebody tells the council, the council's not going to know.
No, I'm not saying the fire blankets and the
Yeah, but I'm just saying, even
that's
So perhaps, I would suggest, explain with the motion to council, and prior to us going to business with each of the lessees, with the lessees, we will have a legal opinion on what we need to do. None of us are equal. Okay. So that's what I'm proposing. But at this point, we have the motion of Councillor Daniel support, and Councillor Jane as seconded, one proposed that part of the motion. Carried. At a later date. So if there's anything further to Councillor Dan and Councillor Evans has proposed. Well, that being the case, we'll have to vote. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you, everybody. That, I think, is a risk thing, and we'll get to clarity. For the gallery, benefit of them, while I can't engage with the gallery or having a meeting, I will get that clarified. Okay, moving on to, and I will echo everybody's sentiments there that the teams have done a tremendous job with a very large, difficult body of work. The starting point was a long way back. Thank you. 4.7, CEO delegations review made 2025. Note that the adjustments to that are taken the yellow in the report. There are 2 points to motion and 2 subsets to that 2.1, 2.2, 2.1, 2.2. It's very clear in there. They are actually to arrive at a change in the act. We have to move it. And Councillor Schultz, second, thank you. You just put that on that. Thank you, Councillor Schultz. No further questions or debate on that? Debate. All those in favour? Carried. Five motions and questions. 5.1 motions on this motion has been given a nil. 5.2 motions without notice. Nil. 5.3 questions with notice is nil. 5.4 questions without notice.
I've just been asked, is there any kind of, opening date for the CW Hall op shop? Any idea? Ladies will be organised.
I don't have an answer for that, but we'll have to speak to the people managing that, I suspect.
Can I just add, you give me a ways off in terms of transfer sort of stuff. You can see I can't speak for the people who run it. They estimate around 6+ months in the event like that.
Go to op shop before.
That's a well, right?
Oh, yes, don't worry, they do that, they roll that one over too, eh, Gladstone?
It's sad that these things take so long, but they're beyond our control.
I think the Melrose 150 in October.
This October, so hopefully, they're hoping to, yeah, of course.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you'll see your answer from controller.
Yes.
6.1, elected member activity reports. There are 3 parts to that. Go around the room and seek verbal reports. And we'll keep that concise to the activities people have undertaken. So, Councillor Schultz, would you like to start us off, please?
Thanks, Nick. The 7th to the 4th, with Gary Wright regarding some parklands that he'd like to do something with that might work out. Just regarding sort of the independent group managing that area and keeping it neat and tidy and state. The 8th to the 4th, the council office art gallery was open. I attended that. 15th to the 4th, it was the budget briefing, question time. Also on the 15th to the 4th was the ordinary meeting of council. 24th of the 4th was I had to pick up the wreath from the council office for the Anzac Day. Dawn service, 10 dawn service on the 25th, and the budget briefing on the 29th to the 4th.
Thank you.
Asked numerous questions with Joseph regarding the path being done, targets. Now completed.
Excellent, thank you. Councillor Roger. Fire away, sir.
I've got up this week.
Good man.
Help, I will have it under control with council. Revenue, so.
Read the report.
Just, before I start this month, I forgot last month, on the 22nd of March, that I went to, Tarkiri Hotel to support the cause. They're not in our council, but they
Keep your money within DC market.
and this is important.
Yes.
It's good that somebody's put a lot of money and time and effort into pulling one of the pubs back. And there's a lot of support from everywhere, which is great. Everybody appreciates it. But Cosy with Aussie was on that 22nd, and the reason I mentioned this was I believe it's on TV this Sunday. I'm essentially, so if you want to have a look at Tarkiri, but on Cosy with Aussie, this Sunday, I think. 8th for the 4th, came to the art gallery opening. 9th for the 4th, Mayor's Listening Post in the Ballroom. 10th, in the men's shed, 10th, 17th, 24th. 14th at the wonderful Jermaine Bridge opening. 15th at the drive round, workshop, Christmas time meeting. 20th, I went to Rabbit Markets. 25th, Anzac Day, Lady Reef Ballroom. 29th, at the workshop, and the 30th, at volunteer.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. We had a very successful, well-attended Anzac Days dawn service in that one. With 45 people, children in attendance, so it's well represented with one of the best cooked breakfast samples in the district. I laid a wreath there on behalf of the council. Also, during the month's activities, I was involved with the Meat for Feed. I had 40,000 litres of molasses go with the hay. So we had to round up 120 empty shovels, 1,000-metre shovels. So I was able to deliver a semi-load in for it, which they filled and distributed the hay. And also I went down on Saturday night. Loads of hay came from York to Gladstone, dispersed for me for feed. So it was an opportunity to have tea, which was provided by the Gladstone Lions, and meet the drivers, the volunteer drivers, and also the organisers of it. So, and also Meat for Feed. It's a great network of working with Lions groups all the way from New South Wales, where the hay came from, right through to dispersing it in South Australia.
Thank you.
On the 8th of April, I came up here to the council gallery opening. On the 14th, 4th, I went over to Port Jermaine Bridge opening. That night, I went to the Worker Progress meeting. Next day, on the 15th, there was a budget workshop and a district tour, and then the council meeting later. 20th of the 4th was the Worker Market. 24th, I picked up the wreath at Melrose for our Anzac Day at Workra. On 25th, I attended Anzac Day and made the wreath, and on the 29th, there was a council workshop here in Melrose.
Thank you.
Okay, so what did I do? I went to the bridge opening in Portmain on the 14th. I then attended the bus tour around the community with other councillors on the 15th, and then also community question time, the workshop, and the ordinary council meeting. Then I went on annual leave, so I was away. Then I did the foreshore market in Portmain on the 27th. I did a catch up with Deirdre on the 29th, and I did the budget workshop on the 29th as well. And I would also like to support what Dave brought up. I personally prefer to have it in the agenda. I think the community is a better way of them knowing. I feel it's a bit like showing colour standing up here. So whether we still do this, but I think it should be in the agenda as well.
Thank you. Councillor Dean.
Thanks, Matt. I was away for most of April, just days, come home on the night of the 24th of April, but I did come for the briefing and the council meeting on the 15th. On Anzac Day, there was Melrose at Wilmington, sorry, played a roof football netball on the 26th, the council briefing online on the 29th.
Thank you. I appreciate all of that. And I think it is useful for us all to talk about, of course. Work as another course. I think it picks up on the sentiments and the purpose of what we're about it. Maybe we need to do that. We'll have a conversation about it later. I think it's worth noting here that the purpose of those that are listening and read our reports, etc., that doesn't show up in any of our reports is and particularly from the councillors, is the significant and constant interaction with our senior management, for and on behalf of all of the people in our communities, etc. There is a lot of activity that goes on, phone calls, emails, and general participation, and etc. that many people in the public don't get to see, and it's very difficult to actually sit there and write up all of those things. But I'm just acknowledging for everybody here that there is a lot of work goes on with this unseen that function. Thank you, my little list of things that I have done, I listed in there. So, do I have a mover for points 1, 2, and 3 of 6.1? Thank you. Got a second for that, please, Councillor. Thank you. Is there any further questions? No further, I'll vote all those in favour. Carried. Great votes. 7.1 correspondence from meeting. There's an item there for South Australian Councils Alliance. Meeting summary. These people do tremendous work, and I was at a online meeting recently with a whole lot of scientists and people from the EPA and coastal people around the old bloom that's happening further down south. Not likely to be a threat for us up here. Bomb people were there, they're wonderful insiders, going to happen to the weather, etc. And so, but this particular group of people do actually do a lot of good work. All of the council that they're aligned with, and we certainly rely on their information they provide to us, etc. So, thank you. I have a movement for 7.1 correspondence. Councillor Schultz, Councillor Taylor. Thank you. There's no further questions of the debate. I'll put that to the debate. All those in favour? Carried. Okay, 8 confidential items. This meeting, ordinary meeting, Tuesday, 17 June, 6 p.m. at the Wilmington Bowling Club, 21 Highway, Wilmington. Please meeting closed at 6:51. Okay, good work, mate. Yes, so if we could just have the council after we close the